Okay.
So good afternoon, all. So today is another wonderful day, and we'll be going straight into the section. And the section we're having today has to do with parameter. So I'm with our speaker today, Mr. Tobi Kazeem. Mr. Tobi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. So I do want to assure all of us we also are going to learn today is really going to help us in this field and in our BI career. Most of the time, we've been designing dashboards. We have dashboard running here and there, but sometimes that dashboard that you have, the management now instructs you that look, that dashboard don't show anything beyond 2 years, or you want to pass in a parameter beginning date and end date. Once you pass in those two parameters, once anybody is trying to log into the dashboard will only make available things within that time range. Now, to get this thing done, we definitely need the help of parameter. Or another thing parameter has done for me in time past, I've built a dashboard, and once I try to get into my dashboard and I click, I want a parameter to help me, give me not everything in the dashboard, but these are the specific things I want to talk to. Or I have list of Excel file I want reported on my dashboard. I want to pass a parameter so that once I pass in a parameter, the Excel file name, the report was done with demo. Now it is live. The parameter should leave the demo and pick up the live and show me what is on that report. And there's another Excel report that is given to me. I want it, the parameter to still help me based on what I put there. If I don't have it in the parameter, then the data will load the previous one. As long as I have changed the file name in my parameter, it can go in. So we have lots and lots we can benefit around parameter. So I'm happy to introduce to us once again Tobi Kazeem. So Tobi, please can you just give a short introduction? Let's meet you. Let's get to know you. Let's know what you've been doing around the Power BI field. Tobi, how are you?
I'm fine. Trying to share my screen now.
Okay. Well, as you are sharing your screen, give us a short introduction. Let's know you. It's not just learning. We want to learn at the same time, we want to network. So who is Tobi Kazeem?
Okay. So thank you, Mr. DG. Really appreciate you for giving me this opportunity to speak today. Though it's been a short time of notification, but we need to accept it as a professional. So I am Tobi Kazeem by name. I work as a Power BI solution developer and data analyst. Currently, I'm in view of my Microsoft Certified Data Analyst Associate, and I have other certification and stuff like that as display here. So today we'll be talking on parameter. You can connect to me on LinkedIn via this link, or I'm ready. If you have any comments, requests, or any other experience, please you can contact me. I'll be very happy to hear from you. Thank you, Mr. DG.
So thank you very much, Tobi. So you can see his LinkedIn handle and his Twitter handle. Please let's feel free to chat with Tobi. He's a great guy. He has been doing so many wonderful things with Power BI, and I'm always happy to have him on board. So Tobi, what is parameter or query parameter in Power BI?
Yes, query parameter in Power BI is what I would just say is that it's something that makes your report dynamic. I won't give it a definition, but in form of programming language, you know, when you have a function, you pass a parameter to it, like an argument. The parameter, you state the type of parameter it is either a text value or a floating value. It also applies in Power BI, and it always makes your report dynamics.
Okay, is this something like store procedure in SQL Server?
Almost similar to store procedure, I can say. almost similar to stop procedure, but I can't really say much because I think it's almost similar. To be sincere.
Okay.
But I
Now,
use it
in your
most.
own, okay, in your own opinion, how can parameter help us? Just give us,
Yeah.
so let's have the aim and objective of this meeting before even going to the demo section. How can stop procedure, how has it helped you? Let me use
Yes.
that word.
Okay,
I
good.
mean,
So
parameter.
yes. So parameter, to be sincere, query parameter work best with templates. And as you said earlier, how we reference parameter is data sourcing, filter rows, keep rows, remove rows, replace row. And a very new one from February edition, incremental refresh, you cannot do without parameter when you are implementing incremental refresh. So parameter is so nice that if you are doing your project to the form of deployment, if you didn't state a parameter for your data source, I bet with you it's likely you have problem at the stage of deployment. I have a customer that the database name change, even the schema, everything changed because of some ampersand in their names. So when we get on board, I just told the guy, don't worry, I've settled everything just to change the name. If you didn't do that, you need to change it one by one, and then you need to add coded in everything.
Okay, because you pass it through parameter, it's just you change at one point, everything is affected. But if it's not
Yes,
parameter, you have to run through the
everything
entire
is
code.
affected.
So, Mr. Tobi Kazeem, I don't really
You
want
have
to
to
take
advance.
most of your time. I need you to go right now. We are about 40 people listening to you right now. So, Mr. Tobi, you have the floor. Give us everything we need to know about parameter. But about 15 minutes to the end of about around 3:45, we will need you to get ready to answer most of our questions. So, thank you very much, Mr. Tobi. You have the floor.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome once again, everybody. We're welcome to working with parameters in Power BI. So very nice to have you. Now, how we reference parameter, data source, use cases. So we are going to be treating 4 use cases today. Parameterizing data source, loading dynamic column from data source, using query parameter. So let me go into my environment. So yeah, let me start. So how did you state parameter? Parameter can be stated from the Power Query editor and under the home ribbon. So you have parameter, manage parameter. So once you click on manage parameter, by default, if you have not stated a parameter before, you have manage parameter and new parameter. But I've stated one for preparing my environment today. So I will start from scratch now. So what I will do now is how can I create a parameter? So if you click on new parameter, you have some list, you have a new interface coming up telling you to define your parameter. So how did you do that? Number one thing, you name your parameter. So what we'll be doing today, the practical case we'll be doing today is connecting to an SQL database. I have like three instances of my database here. So we'll be connecting to one, and that one will be switching to the other one automatically without using coding again and stuff like that. So that is what we'll be using today. So let me go back to my Power BI environment, or let me create a new file. So let me create a new file so that everything will be new from the beginning. So parameter is so nice that it makes dynamic. The first time I used parameter was for web scraping. I wanted to scrape a website of like 10 pages. So, and I need to do it dynamically. So I need to set a parameter of list or page name or page number, page 110. So if you finish page 1, automatically switch to page 2. After page 2, automatically switch to page 3. 4 to 10, because if you didn't do it like that, it will not be dynamic. That you need to be clicking, you stay on your computer till one scraping action finish or the other. So now I'm having a new Power BI file, which you can also have here.
Okay. I guess the network is slow, so you take it slowly with us. Because we would
Okay.
have heard what you said before the screen will render.
Oh, okay. That's the issue of latency too. Apology for that. Okay, so transform data. Let's go to the Power Query editor. So what we really want to do now is how to create a parameter. The number one thing is I want to connect to a database, an SQL database. For you to connect to an SQL database, you need, this is the SQL server connector. You need a server instance and a database, which is optional. And then I can either use import connectivity mode or direct query connectivity mode. But I didn't want to state it directly, hard coding it, because for me to do that, I will need to copy my instance name here. So I need to copy my instance name directly. The way of hard coding data source, and which is wrong, especially when you are getting to the point of deployment. Because one, sometimes when we are developing a Power BI report, we develop it on our local environment. We restore a particular customer database on my local environment, but by the time of deploying, I need to switch to their own environment. If you didn't use parameter, you need to switch one by one on each table if you are not very careful. And even when you when you publish to Power BI service, there is a place for edit parameter. If you didn't use parameter in your development, there's likely to be some issues, especially when you schedule some refresh. So how do we do parameter? Let me go one by one. Manage parameter, new parameter. What we want to do first is SQL server instance. So description, this is the SQL server instance. Now, required. If you check the required, once you wrap this Power BI file as a Power BI template, use a PBIT file. If a new user or a new developer open the file, the required parameter must be supplied before the file load. So if you didn't want the parameter to be a compulsory one, you need to check it. But if it is a required one like this SQL server, you need to leave it there. So type, what type of data type is the parameter you are passing? Parameter is just not like argument, or is like a value. It's like a value, is a data value. What type of data type is that value? For my own data type is a text data type. Now, suggested value. There are three types of values you can supply. Is it any value? Is it list of value or queries? So in my own case, in a company that we have different instances of database, we have 1.829, 1.8209, 1.8219, and there can be a switch at any time due to some other reasons. You can supply list of values. So when I want to supply list of values, let me copy my SQL server instance. For the first instance I have on my database, I have the number one instance. I will copy it here. Second instance on my database, I have this. So I can copy here. You can see I have different instance value there. So what is my default value? I want my default value to be this first one. And what is my current value? I want it to be this first one. If I click on OK, it's going to work. It's going to load the parameter and store it. So I have a parameter. Now, how can I edit or manage a parameter? It's just for you to click manage parameter. It will open the interface. Maybe you have done a mistake before, it will open the interface for you. So you remember that before you can connect an SQL database, you need another instance called database. So let's create a new parameter. So I can call this database name. So it's also required is a text value. Any value, I also want a list of value. If you are good with writing queries also, some are good in writing queries like something like this. You can also use query in writing parameter. I think I will demonstrate this before the end of the class. So but let's stick with list of values. The first values I want is this. I want adventure works. So there is one version. I copy it here. The second one, I can copy the name. That's the name of the database, which both of the instance name and the database will give me a good schema name. So I want by default the data warehouse and the data warehouse. So I have this. So now I want to connect to my data. For me doing that, I click on new source, I pick SQL Server. So instead of me writing the server instance hard-codedly, I will pass in a parameter that has been defined earlier. So how did I do that? I'll click, instead of this ABC, I will click the drop down and pick parameter. So you can see it's automatically pick the parameter I've stated earlier, SQL Server. Then the database name, I pick the database name. So I have this. You can see automatically I have some set of its launch and connect to my data. I can pick some set of data here for demo sake. And click OK. Now, let's open the Power Editor. If you notice something here, permit me to open the code editor. You can see the DB, what I have here is, these are the parameter, SQL Server database name. Now, let me show you what you have if you are not using parameter. So let's demonstrate one where you are not using parameter, and how it is so bad that you are deploying. It's likely we may have some issue with that. So let me use this one. It's very fast. Now I'm not passing parameter in this instance, so I'm just passing it hard-codedly. Now let me just load one table for this. Now let me open my advanced editor. You can see it is hard-coded in this instance. So if tomorrow comes and the name of the database is changed, for each table you need to change one by one. You need to change one by one. So this is where parameter will save you and your precious effort and your time. So that is one use case of parameter. So I can quickly delete this one, that it won't load more of our time. So the next case that I will show to us is loading dynamics from data source. Loading dynamics column from data source. So how can we load dynamics column from data source? Now let me create for this customer table. I have first name, middle name, last name. Imagine you have, let's use this scenario. You have a customer that say the customer data source in dimension customer, we should cover the combination below 4. So what they're trying to do is that the customer is telling you that I didn't want a predefined customer name. I want it can change. The customer name can be last name from the customer table. The customer name can be first name plus the last name from dimension customer table. The customer name may be last name first, first name followed from the customer table, and the customer can say first name, middle name, last name. How can you treat that? Parameter will help you, because if you have created a model that you only pick first name, you need to go back to your model and start changing a lot of things, and before you know, you'll have added a lot of new parameter, and you need to do it for each table that it is included. But using parameter will save lives. So let's look how we can implement this customer scenario. So the first thing we can do is this. The first thing we can do is we state parameters. So we state parameters like state our parameters for each scenarios. So scenario number one is saying that I want the last name alone. So I can quickly say new parameter, customer name. Customer name. Let's just put it like that. So we're also using text, and we are still using list of value because we have more than one. So what the first thing we can do is this last name. The first name, last name from what I have here. This is a practical scenario I've seen. Last name from dimension table. The customer is telling me that I'm not combining first name, middle name, and last name. I'm only just using last name. Good. Last name. The same complaint, another chief director is telling me that they want their customer name. Maybe for the first scenario was the HR. The finance people are telling me that they want the customer name to appear as first name and last name. How can I go about that? Let me show us. That's what I'm trying to show us. We write for, as we know, Excel user and normal SQL user, there's a function called concat. You can quickly use concat to our rescue. So I'll just say concat first name, and then space. So the space will be embrace, last name. That's the second scenario. This will treat the second scenario. The third scenario is last name first before first name. Same way. So the last scenario I have is, let me see this. Yeah. First name, middle name, and last name. Good. So I have all my scenarios. So I want the first instance I want here is I want the default value to be last name, first name, and I want the current value to be last name, first name. So I pass in the parameter. Now, what I can now do is this. Let me show us an instance that this will really work well. I want to connect to SQL Server, and then I'm picking my parameter. So I want to use native query in this instance. I want to use native query. So what I will do is I have a code here. I have a code for native query. So this code is like you defining. Native query will work when you didn't want to copy all the data into the Power BI model directly. So you just want to copy sets of data from it. So I can quickly copy this and go to my Power BI environment and paste this there. You can see, if you notice something, I have commented first name and last name. Okay, I know why it's throwing this error. So let me remove this entirely and then click OK. Okay, something is wrong in my query. Let me quickly figure this out. Oh, it's not complete. From I think I didn't copy it from team customer. Okay, should be there. Okay, let's see. Okay. Come in, let me quickly copy the query from somewhere here. I think I'm copying a wrong query. Okay. Okay, let me try to figure it out. Just a minute, please. Okay. Okay, let me quickly move on. There is something wrong with something here, so I won't waste my time troubleshooting it. So this is what I'm trying to do. Now, I have created dimension, the customer, let's say it's in now. So for example, for a scenario like this is how it's working. I have a customer name, something like this. So now, and I want it to appear like this is the last name alone. They want it to appear like a first name and middle name. So this is what I will just do. I'll go to my parameter, change the last name to first name, middle name, last name. If I click that, by the time I go to my query, you will realize that it has changed automatically to first name, middle name, last. If another requirement comes in and says our own requirement is last name and first name, you will realize that automatically. Let me edit permission. You can see that I have last name and first name here. So this is how we use that scenario for loading dynamics column from data source. So the third scenario I'll be showing us is how we can use parameter to filter rows. For example, now you have a sales record that it involves a lot of territories. You have a sales record that involves a lot of territories, and then you want to quickly filter a particular region, or you want to select by region alone. So we can do this. Let me create a new instance. Okay, let me pick up this. This is the sales territory. Go. So in an instance that there's a scenario that says filter only by United States, and you want it to be dynamic, because if you filter alone by United States, this is how you can do it in a static way. You need to do it like this. So if a requirement you want to see, you want to not state, you want to see something else, you need to come back to the PR code editor and do that. So let me quickly show us how we can quickly do that. So what we can do is this: we state all our existing states as a parameter. So new parameter, state, test, list of value. So I can quickly put United States.
Hello, Mr. Tobi.
Yes.
Hello.
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you very much. I observe there is a delay in the visual display here to your voice. I don't know whether I'm the only one experiencing this from this end.
Okay, let me ask the house. Is there any other person having the same issue?
Yes,
we are all experiencing.
It's the same.
Yes.
There is a visual delay.
Yeah.
There is a visual delay.
Yes, apologies. This is one of Nigeria's network issues in Nigeria, and almost every day I do meeting. This is the second time it's happening this week. I'm very sorry. Maybe internet from my own side.
Just take it slowly. By the time you demonstrate or you say something, just give a lag of about 5 seconds, please.
I think it's because
okay.
I think it's because you are working from a virtual machine.
Okay.
So the network has to be very, very strong for virtual machine to respond immediately. I've done something of such before. Our network here in this country, it doesn't really, it doesn't conform with what is what is required in Nigeria.
Thank you.
Okay.
Peter.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
So what I'm trying to do is that I want to filter that particular column by list of states, and I didn't want to be doing it in a static manner. So I'm supplying the list of states: United States, Canada, France, Germany, Australia, and the default value I want to be is Canada. So the current value should also be Canada. So I can click OK here. Now, if I go into the table, and I come here, filter sales territory country. So what I can do is this: test filter equals what? So instead of me passing it manually, I will just pick up my parameter, pass it through my parameter, and pick the right parameter, which is state, and it will filter by it. You can see it has automatically filtered by Canada. So I have demonstrated 3 good scenarios of using parameter. Now I will not demonstrate it. I will not make to transform this PBS file to a template, and you now see the beauty of what we mean by parameter now. So let me do that. So let me close and apply. Because of our time, so that we can accommodate more questions along the way. So okay, because I've removed something here, so I can quickly demonstrate just one visual, and then the sales. So let's demonstrate it practically. So I'm still naming this guy. The sales territory country. So you can see, so I have one visual now. It says territory country. You can see I have this state now. So the next thing I want to do is to change this PBI file to a template, because in deployment, what I first do for myself is I create a template for the customer, and at any point in time I always update my template every blessed day. So I have this, I can say export to a Power BI template, test template. So let me say test template. You can see I have a template before. It's something, so parameter is something I use almost every week. Any project I must use a template and a parameter to start, so that when there's any issue I won't be disturbing myself by coding something. So what I will now do is this: I will locate my templates from my machine. So this is the template I just created. So I want to load this template. Now, imagine you have done something as a developer. You send this to another developer to continue from it. You are not. What happens is when you change a Power BI file to a template, you are not moving the data directly. So the new person will need to bring in their own data, but you are keeping all other functionality like format and stuff like that. So I'm trying to load this template, and you now see the beauty of parameter. If not for the template or the parameter we have supplied, you need the second developer will need to be going into the code section and start changing a lot of things. So you imagine when you did something on Power BI, you send it to your friend. You know your friend, it does not have that data. Your friend trying to change it to his own environment, you will realize that you won't be able to go to the Power Query editor. It will only be restricted to the Power BI editor. So imagine you have a data modeler and a report designer. This is what the data modeler will do. You can see automatically pop up the template, the parameter I've supplied. You can see I'm using this. I'm connecting to this. So I'm using United States for this one. I want to load the data. So if the new developer or the new environment has another instance name, it will just manage the parameter in this interface. It's not even going to Power Query interface at all. The developer is not even going to Power Query interface at all. You can see it's really working fine now. Now let me demonstrate how we now use this to filter. Let me remove this guy. So we have all these states. So I want to see only Germany. So I can quickly come here and says filter sales equals now let me go to the Power Query editor, please. So the developer can quickly come here and say, I'm not interested. My new customers or the new head of department is not interested in seeing all these sales territory. I only want to give him United States instead of Canada. And you see, it will not even disturb the data model. Anybody can pick it up another day. Or before I do that, I can quickly say I want to change my parameter, edit my parameter for the state. I want to edit it from United States to Canada. And I want to apply it to filter this row. You can see. So if I close and apply, so you can see I have Canada and a blank value alone. So this is the use of parameter. At this point, I will accommodate new question. I would love to show incremental refresh settings, but because of our time, it will be good to hear from others. Thank you very much. You have the floor for questions.
Thank you very much, Tobi. Thank you for a nice section. So we have question from Ahmed. Ahmed, please, you have the floor now.
All right. Thank you very much, Tobi. This has been very, very enlightening and it's very helpful as well. So I wanted to check the possibility of something when it comes to filtering with parameters.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if from the Power BI tab now, I don't know, I can't see your Power BI screen.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe it's only me. But from the Power BI tab.
Okay, good.
Okay. Now that transform data that is there, if you click on drop down transform data.
Transform data.
Yes. Then edit parameters.
No. Edit parameter, not query. Go back. Close.
Yes.
Okay.
I get you.
Yeah.
Edit
So
parameters.
yeah. So do we have anything? Okay. If you change that state from Canada from here,
Yes.
let me see. So if you
change from Canada to US, let's see.
Yes.
You automatically pick it up.
Okay.
So you need to apply it will automatically pick it up. So instead of you going back to the Power Query, this is one of the good advantage.
Okay, that's just what I wanted to confirm.
Yes.
Just to know that it's possible to even do it without going back to the query editor.
Yes, we can see it's up. United States.
So apply changes.
Yes, it has done that.
Great.
Okay.
So
okay.
That's a great one. That's one of the beautiful. So you don't need to keep going back to the query editor to get any of these things done.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
wonderful.
Yes.
Okay.
So
All right.
thank
Thanks.
you very much, Ahmed Oyelowo.
Thanks.
So
Thanks, sir.
we are delighted. We are happy to have you in the house. It's an MVP data platform, so it's great to have people like this around us. So thank you very much, Ahmed. Any other question, please? Another question? Anybody with questions? Okay. Now, you actually mentioned the incremental refresh that was released in February. Sincerely, I'm going to write it down. It will be a topic for a whole day. So, Tobi, you'll be coming back again because that is, if you're having billions of transactions you bring into your application, it's crazy to refresh from beginning to the end. But you can implement what you call incremental refresh to help performance. So, Tobi, you are going to have that section. Please note it. And you just let me know the dates you're ready to come up to give us that full day lecture on incremental refresh. It's a wonderful tool. I really want the house to gain a lot around that as well. So any other question, please? So it's been a nice section with Tobi. So let's ask questions.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. Yeah, I came a bit late, so I just want to ask that the parameter variable, must it be exact of the column name for the SQL table?
For the SQL table, the parameter
variable, I mean, the name for that, I mean, the variable name used in, okay, so must it be an exact?
Yes, because this is what I did earlier. Imagine I have environment that you have different, the name can change. You will have supply different varieties of name. So that's what I've done for two of my environments. So it must be exact because if it is not exact, you will not be able to point to the SQL server directly.
Okay. Well, let me add to that. The name of the parameter is different from the value of the parameter. The value is key. The value is key. It must be what you are referring to. Look at when he was calling the column.
Yes.
Mentioned it. He said concat first name, last name. I can give the name of that particular parameter. I can give it any name I like. I will give it. But first name must be first name. I can't say first name as SN. It will not see SN in the data set.
Okay.
So,
all right, thank you.
Thank you for that question. Any other question, please?
Hello, Anand. Is it possible to give us a sample data? Is it possible to give a sample data? I mean, why the video will be uploaded?
Yeah.
Okay. So that one can practice.
You can. Yes, I think once you watch the video, you can quickly use it on your data. It's not necessarily restricted to one data or SQL. Now let me show. Okay, let me show you something. Let me show you something nice that I always do. I have my own. I have my own connectors for every flat file. I just sometimes I'm just some crazy about not doing it regular way people do it. For example, you want to connect to Excel. You want to connect to an Excel file, you need to do it like this. So I have my code for some flat file that I do. So it's not restricted to SQL. So if I dump this code, new blank query, now you can see it's telling me to enter parameter. So these I use this for flat file. You know, flat file is something like an Excel sheet that for me to get Excel sheet, I input the folder name and the file name. So for example, now for me to connect to this, let me put the flat. Let me apply this here, and then let me just do it manually for the. Can see, speaking of the Excel data, now the beauty of this guy is this: if it is not Excel data, it will work. But if you are using normal connector, you need, if it is a PDF file, it's going to work in the way in this format. So it's not restricted to SQL database alone. It can work for flat file and other things. So again, if I click on this guy, it will load all the data. So instead of me using, so if it is a PDF file, a CSV file, XML, JSON, it will definitely work. Is there any other question?
Okay. Okay, so Tobi, thank you very much. We appreciate your input. So feel free to ask any question. If you have any question, please. If you have any question. Okay, so now we have about 8 more minutes. So Tobi, I just have to appreciate you. Thank you very much for this wonderful session. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
I want to appreciate. Hey, I'm listening, sir. Number one, I want to appreciate Tobi for the wonderful work he has done to make justice to the topic. Then, secondly, although we might not be having questions regarding this particular topic now until we've watched the video very well. So, in the process, can we have maybe a personal contact of his, so that we'll be able to share any question as we are working, and he'll be able to give us attention? So that's just what I want to chip in.
Okay. Thank you very much. Number one, are you on our WhatsApp or Kaizala platform?
On WhatsApp, sir.
You're on WhatsApp platform for the PowerBI user group MCT Naija?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Please, if you have any question, feel free to drop it there, because all of us in the community would like to learn. We don't just want it to be only you and Tobi. So, but if you have to do with personal question, please, that is Tobi's contact. Feel free to talk to Tobi. He's a wonderful guy. He's going to attend to you. But feel free to ask your question on the platform, so that as Tobi is answering your question, other people can benefit. So it's a community, we are building ourselves. So there is no stupid question. You might think your question is like, if I have this question, I don't want people to feel I'm a novice. No, feel free. We are kind to each other in the community. So, and I would like to say this: WhatsApp has gotten to the full limit. We can't bring in new members to WhatsApp. I'm begging all of us, let's migrate to Kaizala. It's a platform that can take more than what we have. The community is like 500 now, and WhatsApp is just holding us. We can't do more than 250 on WhatsApp. So please, I will encourage us to move to Kaizala. So thank you very much. The link will be shared. So Jide, we're going to drop.
Mr. Folarin. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, sir. Yeah. Well, on the Kaizala, as regards the Kaizala, I tried to join. That was like last week, but the platform was asking me code from the admin to insert so that I can be able to have access to the platform. Requesting code.
Okay, thank you for raising that. I'm just sharing this for the first time. Please, once we have issues like this, drop it on WhatsApp. Somebody in the community will guide us on getting you on board. We will appreciate it if you can get on board. Since you've encountered this issue, if you have raised it, maybe lots of people facing the same issue would have been able to migrate successfully. So please, let's take this to the platform. Let's get you on board on Kaizala. We appreciate it if all of us can be on the same page. So thank you very much for that. So, please, Mr. Tobi, I cannot do but to say thank you very much. So get set for another section. Get set for another section on incremental refresh. This is what will really help us in this community. For those that really want to take Power BI as a life career, you cannot do without this. So it's just 4 minutes to the end of the section. So Jide Idowu is another powerful member of the community and is going to drop on our link on our WhatsApp platform. He's going to drop a feedback form. So please, the feedback form, just fill it. We need your feedback. It's going to help us.
About you dropped it here.
Oh, you've dropped it here. So thank you. So you can go to the meeting chat. So we show us your meeting chat. So you can go to the meeting chat. He has dropped it there. So please feel free to click. There's a part there that is talking about topics you want us to talk about. If there's any topic you want us to talk about that is key, that is interesting, please feel free to hit that topic. To submit that topic as part of your feedback form so that we can get everything on board. So I can't see it. Jide, is it on WhatsApp or on Kaizala? Hello, Jide. I can't see it.
No, so sorry, I'm going to drop it on. I will drop it on WhatsApp and Kaizala.
Oh, please do, so that we let them go there, click the form. I hope it's open to everyone. It's not just locked to your organization, Jide, so that everybody can submit their feedback and let's take it from there. This is day one, and day one, this is awesome. I need you to get prepared for day two.
Everyone. For everybody.
It's for everyone. Thank you. Get prepared for day two. We'll be inviting somebody on board. She's a wonderful lady. She has been using Power BI for a long time. She's going to open to us what we call row-level security. How you can use row-level security to manage access level. You don't want all members to have access to your full report. If anybody logs in from a location, you should filter what belongs to that location just for the person to see alone. So we are going to look at row-level security next week. Come Saturday, the same time, the same link to connect to us. Today we are very sorry. Most of us we have to admit you in, but by next Sunday and by next Saturday, everything would have been resolved. We don't need to admit anybody in. Just click on that link and get on board. Feel free to share this link with anybody. So Microsoft team can still accommodate the number. Today we're about 25 in the meeting. So feel free to share the link. Let people come on board. Let's learn from each other and let's take Power BI to the next level in Nigeria. Thank you very much. So I appreciate you all. Tobi, thank you very much. So if you guys if you are not here, we are useless. Coming here to just do this without you is as good as useless. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your data. And thank you for everything. So do have a nice time. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think as soon as we started, know, this is first one. We find an issue, so we put people together and maybe.